Hi, I was thinking to do a series on inspecting websites and check their technical parts. So today I'll inspect Twitter or X. We'll go through the tech that's been used, speed and resources, HTML structure, CSS techniques, and the JavaScript files. So let's start with the tech used. So this is logged in, and let me use the plugin build with. So they give a warning that it's difficult to use this plugin for the website. So they have their own CDN. It's responsive. Let's go then with the lighthouse test. So this is the score. Progressive web app checked. Best practices, SEO. It doesn't much matter in the SEO on the login page. Let's go to performance. So the major issue, largest content painful. They're doing good on the other things. Let's see the JavaScript things. So Lighthouse has detected that they're using React. That's a Facebook technology. Webpack. So let me see what image format they're using. This is their ad. This is the thumbnail. So they're using JPG. They're not using WebP at the moment. Preload largest content full paint image. Something about their web font, the way they're loading it. So this backward cache restoration is a feature of the browsers when you move back and forward, usually through these buttons, and it allows you to load the page more quickly when you go back to it. So they store it in the browser and make the loading process faster, and it seems that they don't beneficiate from that feature, probably because they're using some dynamic content rendering, because all the data when you refresh the page it's something else, but I'm not sure about that. So a warning about the DOM sizes. I'll check the DOM afterwards. Let me see something in their DOM. Yeah, React. Here is probably the largest DOM structure. $795 has this elements. Probably the warning is because of the nesting. A lot of nesting. Usually this is when you use a lot of components pre-built and don't use HTML from scratch so you just nest components and their structure contains multiple elements. So do you see how many nestings there are until you reach the image? Avoid enormous network payloads. Their script evaluation is 1.3 seconds. No major styling. Because they load a lot of content when you scroll, so it's loading based on your actions. And they probably have some modular logic to load different things, because in larger teams people work on different things. Then the accessibility. Nothing major there. And so this is their performance. We reviewed the HTML structure, but let me check this side if it has those nestings like the main content had. Unnecessary elements which could have been displayed much simpler with one or two nestings. Let's see the left side. Here it appears to be well, no major nestings, but here there are a little one. It's good they're using SVGs for the icons. I'm not sure if the warning from Speed Insights about a DOM size includes SVG. So the large DOM size is the main thing for the HTML. Let me check the amount of JavaScript they have. "11 script files. I think they don't have an external CSS. Let me check in the resources. They're using inline styles. Oh, no CSS external files. They're using inline CSS. Let me see. Yes, inline styles. This is probably because they're using React. And the good thing they don't have a lot of need for styles, for a lot of styles. You have some icons and some light colors. So that will save the CSS review to be short. So that appears to be their main style. There's so many classes generated on these elements. So disable doesn't work on the style element, or doesn't work when I tried it right now. So I did it with the media query found on Stack Overflow. Now let's go on the JavaScript. Now before I go to JavaScript, let me see the responsive code. Will they add something dynamically when you resize the screen? Or they switch classes? Yes, they switch classes. And do they load less CSS when you load it in mobile? I'm surprised that they're using so few CSS lines, but they don't have a lot of style, that's why. And maybe on their other parts of the website they use it. Same amount of style elements. Now let's check their JavaScript resources. So they're using a lot of JavaScript. Because a lot of things are happening. They have their likes count. When you click like, they update. I think their stats also update in real time. Then these two. So on the first load, without scrolling down, there are 166 JavaScript files being loaded, which is a lot. First they load the vendor, these are called from the service worker, so they're using service workers obviously. But there isn't a lot of JavaScript. For example, some much smaller sites use usually a lot of much more JavaScript, not in terms of files, of amount of files, but in the weight of the files themselves. And they probably load a lot of modules based on what are you doing on the website. If you open messages, if you click the comment, if you repost, retweet, if you switch your account, these seem to look like JavaScript files, JavaScript module files that are being requested depending on what you're doing, what I was telling previously. And they're pretty clear to understand: direct messages, draft, email notifications, and probably, of course, when you receive notifications, it works in real time, so it checks with the server. Settings, saved searches, tweet stats. So there's a lot of things going on. This is their first JavaScript files. The first JavaScript file that's been loaded when you access the website, the load page, the authenticated page. So this is their main JavaScript file, and it's the largest one. Then the vendor.js file. And it appears that they're using GraphQL, and in the JavaScript file main.js they were mentioning in their names GraphQL, which is also Facebook technology. And the rest of the file were loaded by service worker. Let's see the other files, and then I'll do some operations, some tasks on Twitter, and see what are they loading in their network tab. make a request to the server, check your last searches, load their images, which was expected. Let me see when you post a tweet what's going on. They're probably doing, if you add hashtags, there's the create tweet request. Dark request. What does this mean? False. Maybe they have some checking to check what type of tweet it is. Tweet text. Features. Freedom of speech not reach fetch enabled. Whoa. What would this mean? Freedom of speech not reach enabled. True. This is weird. Responsive web edit tweet API enable long form. Web. Tweet towards. Tweet with visible result prefer. Limited action policy enable. Verified phone label. View counts everywhere. Is there anything that we tag used? Speed and resources, HTML structure, CSS techniques, and JavaScript files. Let me recheck if. Let me scroll down to see what happens also. Beside the images that will be loaded, I think they're doing a good job. Loading things modularly, not using a lot of CSS, and the site feels fast when you navigate in between things, when you open tweets. And yes, this was the review. If you're interested in something else when checking a website, or if you want to see other websites being inspected, you can leave a message underneath the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.